Lieutenant Andrew Diamond here at the Military Police Investigations on Fort Huachuca. What this is actually it's put on by the entire county. You see all the agencies that are within Cochise County, and I have been identified as the top cop for our agency within Cochise County. Our office was notified of a fraud, and in which a particular organization had targeted military wives. What they did is they went onto a Facebook page. They said, hey, want to work from home, easy money, we'll send you equipment, we'll send you checks and stuff like that, and what we want you to do ultimately is invest in Bitcoin for us. This whole organization made it look as if it was a legit company. They created a web page, right, so that if you went to go look, it's like, okay, they have a web page. That's the first thing to take a look at. Then they went ahead and communicated with her by phone. They did Zoom calls, but not face-to-face. It was more Zoom text. So she was getting interviewed by individuals that definitely had a game plan to paint the picture that they were a legit company. So what ended up happening is, over a 4-day period, they had mailed her some checks in the mail. Now, those checks, they said, hey, we want you to go ahead and deposit them, but then withdraw the money and take that money and put it into Bitcoin. It's that whole investment of this Bitcoin world, right, where the Bitcoin money becomes digital currency and ultimately it's hard to track. But in one particular situation, by the second day, her bank had caught on. So her bank kind of was like, these checks aren't good, it's fraudulent. So now she was out, it started off, $10,000, $17,000, upwards of plus $20,000 to this family. And the victim had to send it by digital currency, but the bad guys made a mistake. And how did they make that mistake? They got a little greedy and they wanted her to send a couple money orders. So she went and got money orders and mailed them to a physical address all the way in Fort Worth, Texas. So knowing that information, I went and did a little bit of homework, utilized some systems at my fingertips, ran some record checks, did some homework on the address in Fort Worth, and learned that it actually belonged to a medical member. A female nurse working in Fort Worth, Texas, ultimately was kind of like a money mule, if you will, would take the money and transfer it onto somebody else in that company, in that chain. So she's somewhere in the middle of the food chain of this fraudulent company. So knowing that I can't personally go there, I'm here at Fort Huachuca. And who can cross interstate lines? The FBI, right? So I reached out to the local office and contacted the FBI and said, hey, can you guys help me out here? And here's why. This is a military family, right? They're out $20,000 plus, and they're on the hook for it. It's not like she gets to call and say, oh, lost my credit card or debit card. No, she cashed these checks out of their personal bank accounts. So the bank was ultimately like, yeah, you owe us $20,000. So I gave all the information, the address, the individual, and everything that I had learned about at least this middle person. And the FBI agreed to help us. They sent an agent out and did, in fact, confront the individual in Fort Worth. And the individual made an admission that she had somewhere in the ballpark to $4,000 to $5,000 of that money still. So the FBI was able to take that money and bring it back here to Fort Huachuca, Arizona, and we were able to give a check to the family for at least to recoup some of that loss, right? It wasn't all of the $20,000, but at least they got a percentage of it back. In most fraud cases, you never see closure.
Our supervisory detective, Andrew Diamond, he's been with us for about 6-7 months now. He hit the ground running. He has over 20 years of law enforcement experience. He's motivated. He by far has done things since he's been on ground, just doing anything and everything to help the community. A family that lost over $20,000, he recouped over $4,000 of it, from my understanding, which is not typical in those types of cases.
To me, I'm doing my job. Much like you come into work and you do what is asked of you and what you get paid to do. And I don't ask for anything above and beyond of that. To me, the best award is closing a case, solving it, and helping out the victims.